Okay. Larvae of Musca domestica flies. They are maybe 4 times bigger than melanogaster fruit flies and maybe 3 times bigger than the Heidii fruit flies. And the larvae are bigger as well, about the size of a grain of rice. The best time I feed some live, and you invariably get flies. And I freeze some. The best time to freeze them is when you first get them, because the larvae are bigger at that time, and then they actually shrink down when they're getting ready to pupate. So I just got these. First thing I do, they come in these little bags, but they can work their way out of the bag. So the first thing I do is I put it in a container, and there's a dozen little wormies in there right now. I don't know how they do it. I think they come out the seams where it's sewn. Okay, so this is how they come. I get 8 bags at a time. Tray has a little lip on it, maybe 5/8 of an inch, and the worms are not going to crawl out of it. And when I feed them live, I just dump them in a bin and I keep them in the fridge, and it slows down their process. I spritz them occasionally with distilled water. When I'm going to freeze them, here's what I do. This is what I'm doing lately. I've tried a bunch of different things, but I really like this process. Okay, cut the top off. Cut the bag open. There's be a pile of, because it's been in the fridge, the worms have all clustered together. Not worms, they're larvae. You know what I mean. So I'm going to try to separate out as much of the little wood shavings as I can. There will always be a few in the seams, so it goes right back into the container. And now I'm just kind of encouraging these guys to drop out. Hopefully you can see they're raining from the sky, so are wood pieces. I'm going to get rid of as many of these as I can. There's no harm in them. So just, honestly, they'll probably just become nesting material when you feed the little larvae. Okay, so these guys are just going to crawl around for a minute, and they're going to spread out on this tray. And then they're going to go into the freezer. But let me show you how they come out. Let me get organized. These are the little snack size storage bags. They are perfect. Okay, this is how they come out. Like that. See? So there's also a little bit of food, powdery food that has come out of the bag. I think that's what that is. Maybe it looks a little bit like clay, like maybe it's to absorb their to absorb moisture or something. I'm not actually sure what it is. But I don't necessarily want to feed it to my birds. So, next step, put the little worms in a sieve. and just scooch them around. And most of that powdery stuff will fall out. And then into the bag before they unfreeze. And then right back into the freezer. And that's enough to raise a couple chicks. Okay. Now these guys have spread out, so they're going to go into the freezer. Yeah, and these guys are going to go to feed somebody. You guys want these? Want some worms? Okay, so hope that helps. They're pretty handy as far as live food goes. They're actually seem to work out pretty well. Really good.